My disposition's like a hand grenade. Come pull the pin, we can celebrate. Feeling the love like a tooth decay. So full of pride that it nauseates. I've got no focus and a mind like a prison. I play the hero and I wind up like the victim. Suppose I'm failing, it was never my decision. This is my vibe, but I'm headed for collision. I got a whip like a razor blade. Got an axe ready to invade. Money down, time to place your bets. I'm on fire, you think nothing yet. I got a hammer and a tourniquet. Sparked on my feet into the planet's head. Now they're open and they want to vet. I'll beat them out if they don't repent.
Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. As always, I am Doug Sashray and always joined by
Rob Mendiola.
That's right, and we're here on a nice Wednesday afternoon recording, and had to beat Rob back to the studio, and
yeah, you got here before me today.
That's right, and you were breathing to catch up. I
Yeah.
was kind of worried. I said, "Man, don't let him race," But here we are, and today we are joined by a longtime friend of mine and a very talented musician and leader of his band, Rivethead. We're joined by Steve Page. Hi, Steve.
How's it going, Steve?
Hello. Thank you for having me, Doug and Rob. Appreciate you guys both.
Yeah.
Wow, he's British.
He is very British. And I'll go into the story about, I guess, how Steve and I met, even though this is supposed to be his interview. But
Okay, Doug, how did we meet?
Yeah. We, the first part, it was at Reno's in Deep Ellum, and their bassist was seeing somebody that I had taken out once, but it's somebody that I really liked as a friend, and she was seeing their bassist. So she said, "Come out and join us." So, and this is the first time I'm going to see live music in forever.
So you're saying a bassist had a girlfend?
Believe it or not, this actually
The
happened.
one.
That's right.
The first and last.
Yes. Yeah. And they, so this is me getting back into live music. This is late 2011. And I was trying to talk to him, and she introduced me to Derek, who was the bassist at the time. And then she introduced me to Steve. And after she introduced me to Steve and he walked off for a second, I said, "Is that a real British accent or is that fake?" And and then I wasn't the only one apparently that had that opinion, or I asked that question, but they were loading in and out, and I was asking them, I am right now, I can't shut up, and I think my mother called it diarrhea of the mouth, but it's
Did you know there's a help program for that? For talking too much, it's on and on and on.
It's called that's right, and duct tape. But no, they but I didn't want to just sit there and talk. They were trying to do their job, set everything up for the show. So that's how I became
Grab something.
I became a roadie by night. Yeah, and every show, we me, Big John, and Jason, and then Spike would come and help. We'd have different people come in and out, but we that's how Steve and I became really good friends. And anytime I need something, any scenario, Steve has been there, and all I have to do is ask, and he says, "Sure, bud," So
cool.
Well, Steve, it's not about me.
We're family.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're family. Absolutely. I mean, it's from the first bit, man. Doug's been a huge help to us, and a friend and a supporter of the band. And man, you've been to as many or more shows than almost anybody, minus maybe Big John, rest in peace, and Ruben, rest in peace. They were every show, while physically able to. And
are you trying to say something that I'm on
You're
next?
next. It goes in threes.
No, terrible. That's terrible. Well, there was this other person. They're not with us anymore. So there we go. Done. Done and dusted.
But no, Steve was anyhow, no, I gotta go back to that story again. Look at me. Anyhow, before I got there, I had talked to Derek on the phone, and he was saying, yeah, we do a Britney Spears cover, a Justin Timberlake. I was like,
Oh, cool.
and I was like, man, I can't really turn my car around now, can I?
Yeah.
But they had their own music, but what they do is they'll come and they'll do EPs, and trust me, what they do to a song 90% of the time it's completely different, and it's very lovable, and yeah, so that's how that went. But Steve, I don't know, Steve, you're gonna have to explain all this before me. I know the band with Derek, but you have a deeper knowledge of yourself. I believe you do, don't you?
I think, well, yeah, I get to know myself every now and then in, close personal spaces. A little bit of venturing. Oh, where'd that come from? Oh,
so where did you got here when you were 5 years old?
no, I was 8 when we came to the States. I'd visited before, but we moved to Texas from England, from the London area, and we looked at Vancouver, Denver, Dallas. Liverpool was actually in consideration, and I could have been a Liverpudlian, but my dad took a job at a university in the Dallas area, so we moved here, and that was it. Got the big swimming pool, and from what we moved from in England, which was tiny little house, which size of apartment basically that you get here, we moved into a decent 4-bedroom house, and there I went.
Yes, and now. Yeah, his dad's he's still a professor. He hadn't retired on us, has he?
He retired the end of last year. I know things. I mean, he's in his 70s, so he was getting to the point where it was getting to be a lot of pressure. And then all the discussion with guns in schools going on, I think there was a bit of concern there, especially coming from England where we don't have guns, and just the thought of students threatening or anything like that was kind of a bit much. So. All things considered, he's earned his time.
He's had enough. He's had enough of that bull.
Yeah, I think we all have with the gun thing, man. I mean, look, we're in Texas, and we all support the right for everybody to have one. But the fact that people are able to get these high caliber things and go ballistic with them is not good.
I agree.
Yep.
They got a. So you got here. Now, what influenced you to play music?
When we were in England, when I was probably 4 or 5, my dad had an organ, the little kind of play thing, and it had the notes on it, and I would read the little books, and it would teach you how to play like Silent Night and things like that on it, so I could play it. My dad has always played like an acoustic guitar, and he could play like Green Sleeves and things like that. He would play real pretty stuff with his, and he always had the proper fingernails for it. Which, man, I can't stand to have fingernails. It's something about playing electric guitar. If my fingernails touch the fretboard, I just want to chop my fingers off. But
I didn't know your dad played guitar. I had no clue.
Yeah, he played acoustic. I would take his acoustic. I mean, it would spend weeks in my room because I was taking it. And then there was a talent show, and some friends were going to air guitar. Somebody showed up with a real guitar that one of the older kids had. And it was like this Gibson Explorer looking thing with the pickups and all the electronics ripped out of it and no strings on it. But I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And we were going to cover Def Leppard's Foolin'.
Oh, nice.
And at first I was like, yeah, I'm the English guy. I get to sing, right? I have a Union Jack shirt, the Def Leppard on it and everything. And when I saw the guitar, I was like, oh, forget that. I want to do the guitar bit instead. So I think I ended up singing because the guy went, no, it was my guitar, so you can't have it. But
Yeah.
so that got me really, I mean, that sped it up and really got me interested in playing. And so I eventually got my own electric guitar, which is a little Les Paul copy. I took some lessons for a couple of years from a guy named Marty Ray, who's in Plano, Texas, where he was an absolutely brilliant teacher. And then kind of went my own way with it and just started playing by ear from there. And it's been as much a tool to kind of cope with life as much as it has been for pleasure and fun.
Yeah, that's an early on start. Now, what was the band progression as far as you getting together and doing a band?
So I was in college and I'd gone to see Gwar in Deep Ellum Live, and I literally thought, I'm in the parking lot, I'm going to yell out, I'm putting a band together. I play guitar. Does anybody want to jam? Yeah. And literally like 2 or 3 dudes walked up and goes, hey man, I play guitar as well. And the other dude's like, I play bass. Wow. And they're like, we know a drummer. And I'm like, that's cool. I put a band together by yelling in a parking lot. I mean,
That's
most people get
crazy.
arrested for that, right?
That's nice, man.
Yeah, that started off a band called Squeegee that was like 92, 93 through 2002. And in
So,
that band, the
wait.
final lineup,
So that was
Yeah.
it. That was it.
no,
Was Derek in that in that version?
no, because original bass player was Mark. And then when Mark left, we got Phil. When Phil left, we got Derek. And when Derek joined, he joined as the singer and bass player. Mickey was the first and original drummer. And we did have another guitar player named Jason for a while, and he and I were kind of not at each other, but we had two different ideas of where the band was going to go, and everybody had decided they wanted to go the route I was going. It wasn't like a mean-spirited thing. It was just I wanted to add electronics, and he wanted to be more like Korn, and there was nothing wrong with either route, but that's what we decided to do. So we went with the electronics bit, and Squeegee became that band, and Mickey and Derek were in it for the long time and through 2002, and then Derek decided he was going to retire, and when he did, we created Rivethead because we were like, well, it's Derek, we're not going to replace him as a singer. He's just got this incredible voice. I'm not going to do him justice if I try to mimic him. Let's do something different, and we made Rivethead.
Yeah, very good, man. That's a and he's how many albums and how many EPs?
So I think we're at 11 right now if you include everything. 3 of those are cover albums,
I used to know,
and the
but-
rest are yeah. Well, it started off as it was demos to begin with. So when we first started recording, we did 3 recording sessions, and we were like, well, what do we call this? We'll put them all together in one demo. So it's 3 sessions. We'll call it Phase 3.
Yeah, wasn't it like a?
So it's like the,
wasn't it like a? You did. Didn't you have like a 7-song demo or something like that?
yeah, there was a 7-song version of it, and then I think we might have knocked it up to 10 at some point.
Okay.
So there's like a demo version, and the recorded version, better recorded version that kind of came out. And then when we got the money after doing some shows and selling some merch, we got a hold of JT Longoria at Nomad in Carrollton. And if you don't know JT, he's
Kitty.
local sound god. Dude, he's just incredible. Kitty is the bomb. He's not only an incredible player, teacher, and all that. He's a fantastic friend, producer, engineer, all that stuff you need to be impressive in the music industry. He's got all of it. Great dude. He did most of our work all the way up until the last full album, actually.
Yeah, and he's also he can play any damn instrument, man. And if like
Yeah.
any of the bands ever needed him to like somebody got sick or something, he was the fill-in guy.
Yeah.
So session.
He did. He
musician.
played drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played drums for us a couple of times.
Yes,
once
he
in
did.
Dallas, and once we went out and played Orlando at a music festival opening for Godsmack.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yep. The man, yeah, he's very talented, man.
that's good. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, he is.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, and
go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, it's
No, I was
is
just
your
saying,
story.
then, yeah, cool. And then, Derek retired again. So, Derek he's a hardworking guy, and his day job is quite physical as well. So he was having some back pain, that kind of thing. So it got to the point where these like 190-pound D-Series basses he had, and that's a bit of an exaggeration, but
They are heavy.
the basses he had were,
Big bass.
yeah, they were weighing him down, and I think it was just time for him to step down and focus on him and his wife. So he stepped down, and at that point, everybody kind of walked, really, and it was just a little bit after that, it was me sitting there twiddling my thumbs, and I went, well, I'm not stopping, because, I mean, the band really wasn't about any particular member. For me, it's a tool. It's something to kind of cope with daily life and all the messy stuff that happens with it. So
Right.
I kept going, and I talked to a buddy, Mike, who had auditioned for the band previously, and it turns out he had a friend named Sam who has just quit his band, who plays bass, and those guys joined within like a week. We had a little jam session and talked about the vision of the band, where we're coming from, what the band's done, and they jumped on board and have been killing it. Absolutely
they're
killing
good
it.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very talented dudes. They're my family now, and just having a lot of fun doing what we're doing.
And speaking of which, we did our next. Well, we're talking the past now. By the time this comes out, but we did a night out we did a remote recording with a few bands, and yeah,
Nice.
yeah, they're ready to play some tradesies with Rivethead, man.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. We're ready to get back to H-Town and all over Texas. I know we're talking to our buddies in San Antonio as well. So it's time for us to share some of what we've got. We've got this kind of fully packaged presentation now, which is bigger and better than anything we've put out before. So the whole light package, video package, everything is
they've
synced up and ready to go.
He's done a good job on that, man. That has really come up over the years, and they now Rivethead not only does the music stuff, but also, oh man,
Sock puppet.
Yeah, the sock puppet parody. You ever seen it? You ever seen that before?
No.
Oh my God! Yeah, no. What was the first one? It was it wasn't Bodies.
Well, the first
was it? No.
No. The very first sock puppet parody was a promo for our crowdfunding campaign for Rivethead.
Right.
So, yeah, the background story is basically Big John drew a really, funny stick figure picture of the band years ago. And I jokingly said, well, I'm going to use that for the album artwork. I'm going to put it on the middle of the album, and I'm going to call it Big John's Artistic Miracle, because here's a grown man drawing stick figure drawings. And the thought behind it was somebody's going to read this that doesn't know the story and think, oh, this is great. This is like some little kid who maybe, has an issue.
Yeah, so special.
Yeah. No, it's a like 30 or 40 year old dude who drew a picture of stick figures, and I'm like, this is the funniest thing ever, because it's. Of course, we love it. And then, so he was like, well, if you guys love my art, he's going to do more. So he made Play-Doh versions of us. Well, there's the next album cover, Play-Doh people.
That's right.
And then he kept talking about sock puppets. So he made a sock puppet for each of us. And that became kind of a joke. And again, it's on an album as well. And then we were talking to Brady about this crowdfunding campaign for Cricket Bat, the video that we shot. And part of that was we needed to make promo videos, and Brady said, I'm going to use your sock puppets, and we're going to do a promo video with the sock puppets. And we thought that was the funniest thing ever. And it got such a good response. He went, do you mind if we run with this? We're just going to take this idea. We're going to take original songs. We're going to rewrite them about socks. And we're going to release those one by one on YouTube. And JT was the guy doing all the music back then, and they would get guest singers. I did the Metallica one. Derek did a Static X one. And, like you said, they did Bodies. From Drowning Pool, they did Slayer, Slipknot.
Have you never seen
Beatles.
those?
I haven't seen those.
Oh,
no.
my God.
Like I said, I saw the one Sexy Back, and that was a long time ago. But I remember it.
Yeah, you'll see.
Yeah.
Very heavy.
I'll show you the sock puppet stuff later. Yeah. It's crazy, but they've gotten all kind of people to sit on it. I've had friends forever, like all over the place.
I don't do a lot of television video stuff.
No, this is definitely a lot of YouTube stuff. Yeah. And Brady Talk, he's worked on, I guess, film stuff, but he also teaches at the one of the art institutes in Dallas, and with all these.
It's Katy Conservatory.
Yeah, and he teaches these kids, and he takes them out and they do videos and all this stuff, and he's very good.
I enjoy shooting video and editing video. I just don't do a lot of television, video stuff. I should do more, but it takes time.
Yeah, we kind of let them run with it, and then at some point, JT was really busy, and this kind of around the pandemic, he was getting a lot of kind of private tutoring or teaching stuff come up with violin and guitar and everything else. And he got too busy, so Brady hit me up and said, man, JT's really too busy to do the music. Does Rivethead want to step in and kind of take back over or start doing the music for Sock Puppet? And we said, sure. Let me kind of smooth it over with JT first. And I'm getting invaded by kids. But JT was like, cool, you go for it, man. And we started doing the music. So we've done about 10 of them, and there's probably 6 that are shot that I can't talk about that are ready to release whenever Sock Puppet's ready for the next season.
Cool.
Nice.
And what was really cool is we did Lacuna Coil, and we know Lacuna Coil, and Sock Puppet knows Lacuna Coil, and we did a reveal with them in person to show them it. So we actually showed them the video on my PC while we videoed them watching it. and their response, and it was so funny.
That's awesome, man. That is nice.
I'm gonna have to catch up on those. I promise I will.
Yeah, they really. I
It's
mean,
really good.
they really were a hit with a bunch. I mean, a bunch of people around the country, wherever I was at, they said, "Oh yeah, man, Sock Puppet." And I'm like, really? Yeah, because I know that guy, man. So that was so, that is so funny. And now, not only that, but Steve and them have had songs in different movies.
Oh, really? Okay. Cool.
And also, like he put a video out today. I'd seen a long time ago. He put out a video, I think yesterday, the day before. But they'll play their stuff at the Dallas Stars.
For the games.
Yeah, and like
we've given music for years, so I've known all the DJs, and one of the DJs is now the DJs for the Cowboys, so he'll play us at Cowboys games. So we've gotten the Mavs, the Stars, the Cowboys to play our stuff, which is super cool. I'm a massive sports fan, so to go to a game or to watch it on TV and hear my song playing or hear me yelling, because the Stars had me do a bunch of yells. So.
Yeah, they said this. He does the thing. This is not a picnic. This is a hockey game. It's just they'll play that in between. But also, years ago they performed between periods. Also, they on one little mezzanine section, and they played.
So you're kind of a musician / actor as well.
Well, Star Wars.
I mean, anywhere we can go. I have been on TV as a stormtrooper briefly, but I've been on and a Wookiee.
Yeah, it sounds like you kind of dig the acting as well.
Yeah, he's
absolutely
a little theater,
That group is oh my God, let me tell you, they have a collection of friends, and if you look at any of the videos of Rivethead live, oh man, they started mixing in Sexy Back. Then they started mixing in Gangnam Style into Sexy Back.
Wow.
And it is so over the top. It would be the closer song at night. And
I could see that happening.
It is but okay, then add to that, they have all these women that would jump on stage behind them and they could dance or do whatever they wanted. And then you'd also have stormtroopers on, and sometimes Darth Vader with a lightsaber, 4 foot, 5 foot long, and they have a lot of friends that are in the. Well, they used to be one, but now I think there's the Rebel. Was it Rebel? Was it?
So there's the 501st is all the bad guys.
Right.
There's the Rebel Legion is the good guys.
Okay.
There's the Mandalorian Mercs, which is all the Mandalorians. Then there's the Saber Guild, which are like Jedi, good and bad, that do all the fighting and stuff. And then there's their Dark Empire, which is another spinoff of all the bad guys, like all the Sith and stuff.
Now when you think of, the Dungeons and Dragons, no, what they do a lot of stuff. They do the parade that they have every year in December, the Christmas parade, but they also do, they do a lot of hospital charity stuff, which is really cool for kids.
Yeah.
And
we just did DFW Airport on May the 4th. We showed up and we we're in Terminal D. The airport had us out. They put us through TSA security, and we're walking on the international terminal in Dallas.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. See, and they don't go and get these kits at Party City. No. They have build parties where they get together and they have the custom plastic will come in, and then they and they put the rivets in it, and it's serious. It's some serious work on those costumes, and you should see Big John, and then Steve made one. Big John had Chewbacca, and
he did Chewie, and I did Tarful, who is another Wookiee, but he has dreadlocks, so they call me Jamaican Chewie, which is not accurate, but whatever.
Yeah,
and they look. Well, John didn't need to do it because he was taller than me.
Oh wow!
But Steve has stilts that he'll walk on, and the first couple times I think he learned a lesson on like what to wear on your legs. Because I think didn't you come back with cuts on your legs and stuff?
Yeah, so stilts, they have the straps on them, right? And then this kit weighs 70 pounds. So when you're walking along with the straps on, they rub your legs, so it chaps basically, and I ended up with blood all over my legs.
And
and I'm on this. I'll keep them on. I don't care. I'm gonna earn it, and then next time figure it out. So now I wear Under Armour. So you wear the stretchy pants under the stilts, and it helps.
Yeah, and these are these huge fan fest things that they have, They wearing
people go crazy over
they're
that.
wearing the hottest
I know.
damn stuff. Who do you think that, they see this, that, but when they see them walking because they're, about 3 feet taller than me? Yeah.
7'10".
It's impressive.
And then if they have to go to the bathroom, if they even just normally walk, it's going to take a while. But when you have a million people that are between you and the bathroom that gets a little bit insane. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
There's no going pee in a Wookiee. It's just not possible.
That's a...
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah. So Steve is very multi-talented,
So being from England, Britain, is there any influences there that you kind of carried over to Texas with you that influences your music?
I mean, my dad had all the records from the Beatles,
cool.
as well as the Who.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the Stones stuff. Queen was always played a lot in the house.
Yeah.
So those would be the main ones. Led Zeppelin, of course.
Yeah.
And all the British rock stuff has always been huge to me. And when I heard, Def Leppard, when I moved here, I hadn't heard of Def Leppard till I was in the States, and I fell in love with that. And then around the same time, of course, it was Motley Crue and I was going to say Ozzy, but he's English as well. So there we go.
Now wait, you do know that you do realize that Def Leppard's releasing that album this month, right?
Yeah, it's like the symphonic next album. Is that right?
Yeah, and I love the the Metallica S&M. So yeah, I love Animal.
Yeah,
and Hysteria was good, but I thought Animal was better. But yeah, I don't know how people.
Nice, I'll have to get it.
Yeah, I don't know how people are going to feel about that. When I was a kid, if somebody added something to rock, it was like, oh, what is heresy? Yeah. But then when Eddie Van Halen played the piano / organ and keyboard in 1984, then I guess it's okay then, because if he did it,
Well, a lot of the
absolutely
the people that listened to that, and had listened to it when they were around in the 80s and stuff, that's a mature group, so I think it should be kind of well received.
Yeah, now it's fine and dandy, but back in the day it would have been.
But you're not going to get a bunch of teenagers listening to Def Leppard, or maybe, but I'd say
maybe, I don't know. Yeah,
it's kind of
the crazy topic. Yeah. The crazy topic now is the people who are like, for me, when I wrote guitar music, I wrote with a drum machine at home, and then I had a keyboard, and I didn't have a sequencer, but I would multi-track. So I would track all the keyboard parts by playing them one at a time, and then I'd record the guitar bit, and it was on top of a drum machine track I'd written. So that to me is naturally quite okay. Mm-hmm. If you're a single person and you can't play on the instruments, having the backing of something that you can do possibly is fine. And that's something we've always done, is had keyboard tracks, and they're things that I have composed in a way that I like, and then we use that behind the music. But it's not that we haven't got somebody standing in pretending they're playing it. But now there are bands who are up on stage. Not only do they have backing tracks, but their guitar is also being played.
Yeah.
And they're not playing it.
Right.
Or their bass is being played, or the vocals are fake. And it's gotten to the point where you just don't know anymore. I can tell you 100%. We have the keyboard tracks going. Every now and then, if there's something cool like an effect or something, I might put little vocal. Obviously I use vocoders and things, and I'll put that as a sample. But the vocals, guitars, bass, and drums are all absolutely live.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah,
but people are so up in arms about that right now.
Yeah,
I didn't. When I came into watching, going to Dallas music scene, big on industrial, which I didn't really know what that was, but that is a lot of that, and that's what Steve and them are, and I loved it. It's all. It's like Billy Joel said, it's still rock and roll to me. It's
Yeah, it seems like they would do good with like Hunger.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To me, it was just sci-fi rock. Like, I was at home recording covers of like the Doctor Who intro and playing the Darth Vader theme song, but metal and stuff like that. And then I heard Ministry, and people call it industrial. So I went, okay, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. There's a band out of Seattle that I'm talking with right now, getting ready to get them on, and they said that they're something grunge. I was like, really? But it just sounds like solid rock, and so I don't care what anybody pre-labels something. If it's good music, I'll like it, So
Sure. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with labels. As you know, it's you've got to give yourself some kind of identity that when you tell somebody what it is, like if a label guy comes up and says, what kind of band are you? And you go, look, I don't know, we're kind of jazz, metal, classical, with some swing, and he's gonna look at you like you're a maniac,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you always say that from metal dudes. Like, I play metal bass, and they sound like Deicide. He goes, but I'm a big fan of jazz. You can hear it in my playing. I'm like, no, actually, I can't. I can hear you like Deicide.
I'm a big fan of pandemic rock. What kind of rock?
That's us.
Yeah, there's so
That's
many.
us.
Well, there's so many different. I don't know. Maybe it's just because that's what I listen to most. But it seems like there's more subdivisions of rock than any other type of music, and I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah,
because
it does get picked to pieces. It really does. And man, like you guys were saying, Dallas does have a big scene where we have bands who play with some kind of symphonic or keyboard elements, and like bands like us and Secret of Boris, and there's a few others like Scar's new band Lotus Throat. There's some really good ones you want to catch when you get a chance to get out there and see it. And then obviously on the bigger scale of things, you got Hunger and the bands who really kind of kicked it through. Even the guy from Gravity Kills was from here, if you want to go that far back.
Wow, I didn't realize that. Yeah, it's funny. I didn't think that. I didn't know that Thomas was a musician. I just thought he owned the Scout bar when I met him, and then I was like, wait, I saw a picture before they came back. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, he was a musician. But, I guess it's much like Clint at Trees, so.
Yeah, Clint's a good dude too, man. He's family. I mean, not only was Clint at my wedding, but my bachelor party, we pulled up on a bus outside of Trees, walked straight in, and they had shots lined up on the bar for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. Wedding night, same thing. We pulled up on a limo. We kind of like the after party. We showed up at Trees, lined our shots on the bar. So we are extremely thankful. The scene here in Dallas has had its ups and downs, but certainly, the guys that own the Curtain Club were always fantastic to us. Clint's been absolutely brilliant. And we've been extremely lucky to be able to play these venues we do.
I agree, man. And what's the near future for Rivethead? Yeah, what do you want to do this summer? You want to get out and tour a little bit?
We do. We are writing and recording as well. And we are definitely going to get out. We're talking about some Oklahoma dates and then like getting down to Houston as well, San Antonio, like I said. We just shot a new music video this last weekend. And once the song has been mixed and the video has been edited, which apparently it's halfway done already, we'll be dropping that pretty soon. And then there's another single, which we played for the first time at our show a couple of weeks ago at the studio in Dallas. And the song is called The One. And we haven't released that one yet, but it's ready to go. I mean, it's mixed. I've got it. It's ready to come out. We're just not sure when we're going to drop it.
Do y'all have any sponsors that help you guys along the way? Or?
Well, we have some endorsements who have been fantastic. So BC Rich Guitars, primarily. Cool. I've been on and off with them for years, just because the company sold a few times. I have to reach out again and go, hey, the last guys were really good to us. What are you saying? They're like, yeah, let's do it. And Bill Xavier, who's bought BC Rich, he's one of the main dudes now, has been extremely kind to keep us in the loop. And so BC Rich, thank you very much. Also Dunlop. Dunlop has been fantastic. Cool. Between Scott and Julie over there, they've taken care of us for years. And so we get like all the wah pedals and picks and stuff, all the cool toys. And then Dean Markley for strings. And I'm trying to think who else. Monster, if you're listening, I drink way too much of your stuff and would like some more.
Yeah. They have been loyal for a long time, and on the BC Rich has definitely been a part of that band for quite some time.
Absolutely, love. People talk about pointy guitars. That's a love affair for me. I'm absolutely addicted to them.
Yeah, well, you know that we will. Promote Rivethead. I will do it anyhow because that was since I've gotten a little bit old, I can't bend down and pick up those chords anymore. But
days are numbered.
I tell you what we do. Yeah, what we do is we drink a Monster and then we Tony Tashery's products all day long.
See,
because those are our favorites.
Well, man, I'll be there to help next day. Yeah, no, I love it, man. I have nothing but great memories, and I'm ready to make some more, man. So,
Well, I look forward to seeing
Absolutely.
you on Houston, man.
yeah,
Heck yeah, man. And thank you guys so much. We'll get you guys some new music as soon as we're ready to, or figure out when it's going to come out. And look forward to coming rocking some faces.
Very cool.
yeah. We won't. This won't come out before your show on the 28th or the 29th, but we will post that on our sites definitely.
Awesome. Yeah, that show is Trees with Mad Mexicans and Bull by the Horn, which will be totally killer.
Yeah, y'all will have a good show. I have no doubt. But Steve,
Absolutely.
thanks for talking to us today, man.
Thank you, brothers. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much.
All right, take care, my man.
All right, cheers. Bye-bye.